Surviving the Dark Ages, a period roughly spanning from the fall of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century to the early Middle Ages around the 10th century, would have required several essential strategies and adaptations due to the significant challenges of the time. Here's how someone might have survived. Number 1, agriculture and self-sufficiency. With the collapse of centralized trade systems and frequent warfare, self-sufficient farming was crucial. Most people relied on small-scale agriculture, growing crops like wheat, barley, and beans, and raising livestock such as sheep, cows, and pigs. Knowing how to preserve food for harsh winters through drying, salting, or smoking was essential for survival. Supplementing diets with foraged wild plants, fruits, nuts, and game was common, especially in rural areas. Number 2, community and protection. Isolated survival would have been difficult. Living in a village or under the protection of a local lord or chieftain could provide mutual support and defense. Many communities built fortifications, such as walled towns or fortified monasteries, to protect against frequent raids from Vikings, Magyars, and other groups. Forming alliances through marriage, trade, or military service was another way to secure protection and access to resources. Number 3, adapting to insecurity and warfare. Being armed and knowing how to defend oneself was essential. Many communities had local militias, and the nobility maintained trained soldiers or knights. Sometimes survival meant knowing when to flee, especially in the face of large-scale invasions. Mobility allowed people to escape or seek refuge elsewhere. Knowledge and skills were vital for survival and progress during the Dark Ages. Craftsmanship played a crucial role in communities. Blacksmiths, carpenters, and other artisans were highly valued, as tools, weapons, and daily use items needed to be produced locally. Basic medicine was another essential area of knowledge. Understanding herbal remedies and folk medicine helped deal with injuries, diseases, and childbirth, especially when professional medical care was scarce. These skills were not just practical, but were essential for the day-to-day functioning and resilience of communities during these challenging times. Religion and superstition. The Christian Church became a central institution in many areas, providing not only spiritual guidance, but also education, healthcare, and charity for the poor. People also relied on superstitions, charms, and rituals to protect themselves from what they could not explain, including illnesses, famine, and natural disasters. Adaptation to climate and hardship. Harsh weather patterns, cold winters, and food shortages were common. Building sturdy shelters, stockpiling food, and managing resources effectively were crucial. In some cases, survival meant migrating to new areas in search of better land, protection, or economic opportunities. Trade and bartering. With the decline of centralized economies and currency, bartering became a key way to trade goods and services. Those who had surplus crops, livestock, or skills could exchange them for other necessities. While long-distance trade diminished, local trade routes were still important, and surviving towns or monasteries often served as centers for commerce. Conclusion. Surviving the Dark Ages meant being adaptable, self-reliant, and part of a protective community. People needed to master essential skills such as farming, craftsmanship, and defense, while also forming alliances to ensure their security and well-being.